adopted a bunch more people, but you know what I mean. But and it was one of the part Joe Lewicki. He was he was talking about Yellowstone and stuff, and the one key word that people are missing, that Forrest Fenn says people are missing the one key word, and it says right in the poem what that word is. There's only one bold hint in the book. The other hint's his hat, okay? But the one hint, bold hint in the book, and his hat has to do with this bold hint, is the treasure's bold. It's simple. It says right there, the treasure's bold is the bold hint, basic. And when I say it's the only bold hint in the book, that means if you're searching at any of the places he named in The Thrill of the Chase, Yellowstone, and in Too Far to Walk, Madison River, any of those, he did not give any bold hints like that in the books. So, you looking up there in Yellowstone, you know, it's mentioned in The Thrill of the Chase. It's not in Yellowstone. It's not in Temple, Texas either. Example. He mentions New Mexico. He says, oh, Colorado's the only state he doesn't mention. Well, if he mentioned Colorado, that would be bold, wouldn't it? He said there are subtle hints sprinkled throughout the book. And there's a lot of them. Yay, Jimmy Dean. Cooking some sausage again. But, yeah. And I saw that one show they did, and he asked Shelley about these pictures I've got and stuff. Oh, she said, Photoshop. Somebody that has to Photoshop themselves to put themselves on a camera, you know? I mean, you know, no, I don't Photoshop. No, I have Photoshop, but I don't even use it because Adobe CS4 doesn't work on Windows 7 anymore. It cannibalizes itself, basically, you know. So I use Corel Paint Shop Pro, and all I have, the main pictures, all I do is turn up the saturation and sometimes turn up the shadows a little more. That's all I've ever done for the raw, you know, the raw. I have the raw image. I have some pictures like the one that I just did with Anubis and stuff that I put through an art program, and the art program takes the shapes that are there and applies different colors or a different type of artistic thing to it, but it doesn't change what the picture is a picture of. Sometimes it lightens up dark spots too much, and that doesn't, you know, help, because you need the shadows to, if you look at a bronze sculpture, like you ever try to photograph a bronze in a museum, and it comes out really bad because it's all one color and stuff. You need the shadows and stuff, you know. So I try to accentuate the shadows, and I try and sharpen the picture. I crop out a piece, a little, like if you had this picture, like say you crop out my nose, you know, and blow that up as big as the rest of the screen. It's not going to be sharp, you know. But that's the only part that of the picture that I want you to look, that has something that's clearly seeable, you know, because a lot of people have no imagination at all, None at all. I mean, they even watch CNN. Yeah, yeah. I think Jimmy's the only one watching. But there's no bold. Yellowstone is a bold hint, and the Madison River is a bold hint, and New Mexico is a bold hint. Uh, Montana. Well, he he didn't mention going to Colorado or doing anything in Colorado. Really, the only thing Colorado came was Mesa Verde, where the beads came from in the bracelet. So there's, so Colorado, that's a subtle hint. A subtle hint. Beads, but came from Chaco Canyon. Chaco Canyon's in Colorado. There's a relationship, you know. A creek is a creek, no matter where it is. A river is a river, Madison River, you know. The river can be a clue, but the Madison River is as bold as you can get. Boom. And besides, and it was, oh no, I hadn't been. That was West Yellowstone. And that was everybody making excuses about the Yellowstone thing. Do you know the route his dad drove from Texas to Yellowstone? No, I don't. But temples near Dallas. They could have come up I-40 or up to I-40 and across, or any. I don't know. There was no I-40. There was Route 66. Was probably the route they took into probably Albuquerque and then maybe north, or maybe they went over to Utah and then north. But that's kind of going a little further. They probably would have gone through the mountains for the nice cool air, being there's no air conditioning in them old cars. I would like to find out. He even says how fast he drove. Yeah, I don't know. I'm close enough that I don't ask him. I don't really ask him questions. I suggest that, hey, when your time's up and they need somebody that can answer questions, I might be the one that can answer like you would and keep it, because a lot of things I keep somewhat secret. The Homer Brown, I let out, he knows that. I wonder what he thinks of that. But that's a fantastic house, man. I would love to have that house. Forrest would too, I'm sure. But he wouldn't want the maintenance bill. There's actually, Brown had many, many homes on that property that were like guest homes scattered about the place. He was richer than the Clampetts. A lot richer than Forrest Fenn. Forrest Fenn would love to have his trove, But the other thing I saw him hint about was his treasures that he still has at home and stuff. And it could be he's made could it be the treasure goes with all that, and that's why he wants it in the Smithsonian. Then it belongs in the Smithsonian, and that's probably the only people I'd ever talk to about it. You know what I mean? And he says when you find it, you'll want to make 2 trips. The second trip just to go back and visit the area, visit the trove of art in the forest. Oh, I need my glasses for one more note here. um, yeah, yep. That's what I was. The one note I had here was about the about what the subject is of the about bold hints, and people don't have comprehension. Comprehension is important. When he says subtle, he means subtle. That means anything that's bold is not subtle. So, you know, let's try and get that up there on the. There's a face up there. Can you see him? It's an alien. Yeah. So, you know, this would be on Ancient Aliens, right? Okay. So, there's subtle hints. And it says before the poem that the poem leads to the treasure, the end of his rainbow, and the treasure. Okay, I know what the end of the rainbow is too. So, um, I know what it is, and I'm not going to say what it is. I know what it is, and it's. I think I'm waiting for there to be less water because I got a prime spot that I want to got to cross, and it's moving pretty fast right now, and it's about 3 feet deep and going fast, and that'll sweep you away and and mess up your cameras and your phone and yeah, I could survive it, but I don't want to get that wet. I guess you could cross over there naked because there's some symbols. There's I go by symbols that are going to show you what to to pinpoint an exact location of the treasure. You have to have some kind of symbol, some symbology of what represents where the treasure will be. You got the images of him with his hand in his pockets a lot. There's, back pockets and front pockets and shirt pockets and, and then there's marbles. Marbles are kind of like cue balls in the corner pocket, the side pocket, which pocket. But there's also, he said 9 clues in the poem, right? But what he said to me at Fenn, and when they say something, when he says something, I let you know what he said because it's a clue he gave me. And to be fair, everybody should know what clues he's passing out, private or whatever. I don't know, but if he had something to tell me that he wanted me to keep private, then he should let me know though. But I haven't. He hadn't emailed me back in a long time, but I did see him at the book signing in November, and I had behind me somebody come up and tap on my shoulder, turn around, there's Forrest. So he knows who I am and what I'm, and he knows the area I'm at, and I think one main reason he doesn't contact me or reply to me at all is because I can pull hints out of anything he sends me. That's part of being an omniscient guru. You see the guy here? I think, is it on the... It's a mammoth. That's an actual mammoth pin. I had to have that. It's not an African elephant or an India elephant. It's an actual mammoth. I put the frogs on the other side. So, um, yeah, and I watched that show, that thing, part most, until Joel was on there, and he's lost and looking in Yellowstone. It's like bold, 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 and any location named in the book is bold. Just flat out bold. You gotta under not only know the word subtle, you have to know what it means. And when somebody says subtle, you got to comprehend, you know? That's like telling somebody, don't get near the edge of the cliff. Don't get near the edge of the cliff. And poof, there they went off the edge of the cliff. They couldn't comprehend what you were saying to them. Hey, poof, yep. You know? Some people, I don't know how they, I guess a lot of them didn't graduate, maybe, But yeah, I got through school not the same way as Forrest, but I made it through in the skin of my teeth. I thought I was going to be half a credit short, So I got another credit out of my work experience education, and I ended up graduating with 1.5 credits extra instead of just half a, because I thought I was going to, need that one extra to put me back up, because I didn't know if that half of one wasn't going to be there or not. So I graduated 1 extra credit, and then I did University of Phoenix. I got a degree in IT, networking, network security, and IP, and all that stuff, but that was after I was a telecommunications engineer, designed microwave systems for Sprint, and I designed fiber optic networks for MCI, Sprint, and Time Warner Telecom. And then I became an outside plant manager after when fiber optic routes, they got the central office here in your house here, your phone here, right? Well, the phone line, they got 2 phone lines. Well, it's not really. It's that office to any other central office. Maybe out to your phone line, it's not the same way. But between 2 telecom offices, you have 2 fiber optic routes. It's called a ring. So it goes from the one point, and it goes 2 different routes to the other point. That way, if somebody cuts it on this side, the other side still works, and all the circuits can travel on that other side. And when I was at Time Warner in Orlando, was it Quest? No, it wasn't Quest. Quest was the second one. The first cut was done by a guy who worked for the power company, and he was coming out of a shopping center with the boom on his truck up, and he snagged the fiber optic wires up in the 18 feet in the air. He snagged him with his rig, and he's stuck there. He couldn't. His truck couldn't break that cable. And so, that cable that he snagged on had 256 fibers in it. 2 of those fibers had about 200,000 phone calls or T1s on it. You know what I mean? And we were billing $2 million a month for services, and it took down all of our customers. You pay $2 million a month for service. You don't. You want that back up as fast as possible, and So anyhow, that guy cuts that fiber, so we're fine. We're running on the other side, and I'm in the equipment room with my OTDR, optical distance time relay, and it sends a light beam out the thing, finds a crack in the fiber cable, and it bounces back, and it tells you how long it took for the light to get to the cut in the wire and come back. And then I got maps on my computer because I managed all the maps. And so to go out, this thing went out like 60,000 feet, several miles. And the fiber cables might go a mile or two, but usually it's like driving somewhere. You come out of the central office, you head out there, some of the customers take a right, some take a left. So you got to splice and you got other fiber cables. And I had to route it through all the different fiber cables. And in 5 minutes, I knew where to send the repair truck. And it was Quest who had was digging a line and digging into their office. And they cut the other side of the fiber. I was looking for my BB gun. Get the mouse issue. And if they're crossing the floor. And, oh, there he goes. There he goes. Oh, no, we didn't get him. He's a lucky mouse. If he's really lucky, he'll go into my new live trap. But, I got important things I talk about, not just the mouse issue. And I've cutting down. I've gotten like one mouse every other day. I had one in the live trap today, and I just seen his brother. He's just a little tiny. It's like I must have killed its mother, and it's coming out looking for food. But I'm a good shot. I prefer to set them free. So, yeah, and they have their little program, and it's like, no, I won't get on, because that guy has to invite me back, They threw me out, and, I'm not going back there. I'm not, I watch their stuff just to see if anything's mentioned about my solve and so on and all that. But, yeah, I was banned, they're afraid I might, get on the show and say, they lack imagination again or something like that, that's so offensive, that's really offensive. Man, insulting someone's imagination like they insult my imagination, they insult my imagination they don't poo-poo on my solve. They shit on my solve. They shit on me. And that's not cool. Not in my book. And I don't like government agents of any type. Especially the ones that think they can listen in on your phone calls. That's the department he worked for. He worked for that company. That one that likes to listen in on your phone calls and see what you're doing and instigate issues overseas so that people get killed and bombed and all that stuff. I say if people overseas want to kill and shoot each other, let them do it. That's their problem. It's not our problem. If you want to go help them, go ahead. But it's not our government's problem. I think our federal government, the main role of federal government should be protecting the citizens from the state, the county, and the city to make sure that our rights are guaranteed. That's what they're supposed to. That Constitution is supposed to guarantee our rights, and our rights aren't guaranteed. They squander them. You know, the federal government come after you. You know, all these, what do they call them? Public defenders, you know. Um, they, that should be the federal government. When you're charged with something and you're not guilty, the federal government should be watching out. You know, especially, what are you guilty of? Well, I was out in the forest smoking a joint, and there was nobody. I thought there was nobody for 10 miles, and this ranger come up and arrested me, put me in handcuffs, left all my gear out in the woods, and marched me into town, you know? That person going out there and arresting people for that kind of stuff, they're the criminals. You know? There's supposed to be freedom. We're supposed to have freedom. And there ain't no freedom if you can't make your own choices. They're drinking sake. They're drinking sake on the show. We can get drunk as shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, I don't know. Maybe Toby does smoke pot. Now that he doesn't work for the government. I know that's what they all... Oh, man, I can't wait until I'm done with the retire so that I can go burn a good doobie. Yeah. Those kind of things. I mean, what you do on the weekend on your own time is your own business. And I hope I do find this. I'm going to find this treasure. And then when somebody says, oh, you smoke, you're so stupid because you smoked that pot. It probably helped. Yeah. You got to stop following bold hints. 27 minutes. Freaktard comment alert. What was that? One video. Playlist. Oh. Yeah. Well, I thought what a freaktard win is. Oh, Bill Gorman personally insulted me. The gypsies lack imagination. That's a personal insult. Man. You know, that's an insult. He said we don't have imagination, yet we can't believe that what he's seeing is there. It's an oxymoron. Well, your imagination, you know, Del Neisel quote, Bill Gorman, you're the king of imagination. Okay? That's what he says, you know? These people think that my imagination's full of poop and sewage, you know? Theirs is the one full of poop and sewage. There was a thing I seen today. Where is they? Where are they? Where are they? Is that? No. There was a... there they are. I'll turn this around and show you. Because you probably see this. Most people, you don't need a lot of imagination. So, what you got here is this guy here. See his face? This is his head. Ew, he's in this crack. But look at this woman here with the hat. And this guy here. See? They're standing there, and here's her hands. And what's this? Somebody else down here. But look, there's other figures all around them. There's this face here looking down. There's a face on her dress here. There's a face down here. See his mouth, his nose, his eye. There's a face here, the eyes, the mouth, the ear. Let's go look closer at his ear. Oh, hand, move it down here. See, and there's another face. There's other. Look at her. Look at those. See the eyes looking down? That red streak along the hair? I don't know. Maybe that's somebody else. But there is a lot of stuff. Look at this guy sitting in here. So see his head, his body, his arm coming out, and there's his knees. There is a lot of stuff here. Here's the woman's face in there. It's a skull. Ah, oh, it's Dawn of the Dead. No, and there's the other guy, the guy there. You see, and there's somebody in between them. And then we got, look at this. See, there's a face right there. See, I cropped this out. There's another. Is that an angel? You see the nose, and there's an eye and another eye, and there's the mouth. But I was thinking these were wings, maybe. The little body. It's people in the cracks. There's always people in the cracks. Look at his hand right there. But you see the hand is two fingers? That's what the Columbian mammoth has, like two fingers on the end of its trunk. But there's another face here looking left. There's one looking at us and one looking left. A lot of the faces are like Ezekiel said, or when that they had a face on each side, 4 heads. See, there's a guy in the crack there, and there's another guy. See, there's just more and more stuff, and there's people over on the side crawling into the picture. Okay, back to, see, it was this. I seen this. I seen them standing there with this guy in the crack popping out. It was the first thing I see. And then now you see, what's that, Homer Simpson? But, yeah. It's bizarre stuff, I don't know what else I got. Nope, not doing that. And yeah, I took a whole bunch of. I've only started going. I took 1,500 pictures today, and to look through them, and that's just one of the pictures with all that in there, And they got a whole lot more of them because these figures cover this whole hillside, or it covers several hillsides. The Anubis is he's so cool, and it's right where you could have a pull out and a historical marker there, or a plaque thing, and pointing out what you're looking for, and there's a lot. Anubis is right next to Enki. Enki, did I have him open? No, he's not open. He might be in this. Ew, he's not in that. But I'll show you these hieroglyphs I found in my pictures today. I was up there, and here people complain, that video is real shit. Blame Verizon. I did the best I could. That's Verizon. Here's like hieroglyphs. See? Now, what are the, see, there's this symbol. Now, is it just stick people or figures inside a circle? Are these, it is. It's 2 people having sex. Here's his head and his body, and she's sitting on top of him. Or maybe this is him because I see something sticking out and she's on her back there. Yeah, I don't know. But here's the other one. XX. Or is it XX? Or is that a face? Is this a face? Or is it XX? See, because there's a shoulder and a neck and maybe a head, and it's looking at this face. This is a face, maybe too. This is a face. This I thought might be like a bear. I don't know. And then there's these stick figures here, you know. But there's lichens growing on top of it, so you got to imagine some of the black lines that is the art is underneath is, you know, these lichens. So there's, I don't know, is that somebody in a Halloween costume? I don't know. But there's a small person here. You see, there's a head and two arms and two. It's just weird. They're like laying on the ground, maybe, and this person's standing over them. And then there's these figures here. Look, see, here's the face, the two eyes, got a black hat, nose, and the arms are coming down. The legs are knees are sticking out, and the hands are coming. Oh, oh, oh! Look, there's the head of the person they're on top of. Yeah, he's on top of her. Okay, so there's, here's another figure. What the heck is that? These, there's the black writing. This white in here, I think it's lichens that are growing on top of this black artwork. The lichens do a good job of themselves, but I don't know what that is. What's that? Mouse sticking his head out of the... You can see the dark underneath the light lichens, See now, see where that is? Boom, where is it now, right? Somewhere in that picture I found that. And I think it's down low. My camera's spinning on me. Oh, look at this. Look at these people. See, there's a head here, the eye, and this guy up here is a big Brutus-like. Are these letters or something on him? I don't know. And then, look, there's even more in here. There's a guy, this is his mouth and his eye. His nose is up in the air. He's got a weird looking body. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. And even Graham Hancock, he's on Ancient Aliens and all kinds of other shows and stuff. He says, you got to draw a line somewhere. Somewhere these are, are actual archaeology, and some are that's the stuff on the fringes. So he said, be on the fringes. This stuff, that's the fringes, where the Brady Bunch doesn't do fringes. They don't do fringes, and they don't do imagination. Their imagination is imagining what words mean, twisting words. That's as far as their imagination goes. There's nothing artistic or visual about their imagination. I've got some prints, and I got to order some more prints and stuff, and then I'm gonna put them on my lookinghere.com and sell them there. I think I'll have links to order them. I'll probably list them on eBay and just sell them that way. And I'll share the links on my Forrest Fenn Fanatics and on eBay. But the only bold hint is the treasure and the hat. And if you find the right treasure, you'll know what the hat has to do with it. Yeah, that's all. I think I'm done. I'm going to watch some YouTube myself. Wrong button.